What's going on, baseball fans? Jeremy Laracuente here for the Baseball Banter Broadcast. Happy New Year's. We are starting the year off with Major League Baseball still in a lockout, but that doesn't mean we can't go over some different things that could happen once it's over. So we're going to be bringing you a series starting today that will look at the top 6 free agent position players and the 5 most likely landing spots for each one of them. Today we begin with arguably the biggest star on the market, Carlos Correa. Now, before we get into it, make sure if you haven't already done so, you smash that subscribe button, as it does a huge service for us here in growing this community. Tell all your baseball fans and friends that this is the channel to watch in 2022. But let's get right on into it. The 5 spots where Carlos Correa, in my opinion, is most likely to land. This is in no particular order, but we'll begin with number 5. Now, I think that this is a kind of out of the left field side of things, but I think that the Miami Marlins could be an interesting candidate to go after Carlos Correa. We know that there's a heavy Latino influence in Miami, and what better way to announce that this is a team that is going to begin actually going for it. No more rebuilding, no more trading away your franchise type stars. This is how you signal to your fan base that we're going for it, by bringing in a top-notch superstar shortstop in Carlos Correa. Now, I think that it is a little bit ironic, obviously, with the comments that Carlos made about Derek Jeter and his gold gloves, the fact that Jeter would bring him down to South Beach. But again, to me, this is a possible location and a possible landing spot for Carlos Correa. Now, number 4 on my list is that of the Los Angeles Dodgers. When you look at what the Dodgers are now missing, they're missing their shortstop. Corey Seager would go and sign a 10-year, $325 million deal with the Texas Rangers. So that leaves them with a vacancy and a spot, and what better way to fill it than with a superstar like Carlos Correa. The Dodgers are not at a lack when it comes to the financial ability to sign this player, and they can also make some other moves around the rest of the diamond to free themselves up with even more room to sign him to a long-term deal. Now, while I don't think this is as likely as some of the other names of teams that we're about to mention, this is still genuinely a possibility, because when it comes to signing big stars for big money, you can never count the Dodgers out. Now, number 3 on my list is him returning to the Houston Astros. Correa has had a very good run, a very good career so far with the Houston Astros. Yes, we know that they offered him a kind of lowball 5-year offer, but who's to say when they look back at the market that we can have a very different set of circumstances in terms of the financials in the game following this lockout. A new CBA could easily bring the Astros well underneath the financial restraints of the luxury tax and allow them to go big and bring back their superstar shortstop. Now, in my opinion, these next 2 teams are the most likely landing destinations. We begin looking at my number 2 pick with the Philadelphia Phillies. Yes, the Phillies have Didi Gregorius, but he has been declining over the last several years. I think going after a superstar like Carlos Correa, already having Bryce Harper on the roster, is just a signal that the Phillies are going big in 2022. I think bringing in a guy like Carlos Correa could really help solidify the Phillies defense and offense, especially from that premium position at shortstop. When you look at the Philadelphia Phillies lineup, there is something to be desired there. They should be getting a lot more from players like Rhys Hoskins. However, having Rhys be able to be the 3rd guy on the team as opposed to being Bryce Harper's protection would help lengthen the Phillies lineup. And that Phillies lineup is already a team that can be very formidable in a very competitive National League East division. So I think when you go in and you add a guy like Carlos Correa, it just lengthens that lineup even more, allowing them to be a very serious threat in 2022. that leads me to my final pick as to a potential landing spot for Carlos Correa, and that is my very own New York Yankees. When you look at what the Yankees need, they need a shortstop. It's no doubt about it. Carlos Correa is the best shortstop on the market. When you look at what this team needs, they need that fire back. I said it in my offseason rant video, as well as my video on what the Yankees need to do in their offseason plans. Carlos Correa is a huge factor into what I believe the Yankees need to do to get back to being the best team in baseball, to being back on top of the mountain. If the Yankees are looking to have that ride down the Canyon of Heroes in 2022, Carlos Correa has to be at the top of that list. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comment section below. Let me know, where do you think is the most likely landing spot for Carlos Correa? And if you believe that the suggestions that I've made here today are inaccurate, let me know that down in the comment section below, and we'll discuss it further. As always, keep it locked in here to the Baseball Banter Broadcast. And again, this is just the first in a series of 6 that we're going to be going through for the top 6 free agents still left on the board. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. This has been the Baseball Banter Broadcast, and I'll catch you on the next one.